Cheers.
All right. I'll give it, we're getting close, but if you would, I had to do it when I signed in. If it would help Mary Jean, if you would show on your name, your call sign, and you can do that by putting the mouse over your picture, and you should see 3 little dots. You just click on that and it pops up where you can say rename. Most people have done that, but there you go. Mary Jean just did it, didn't you? Yeah, most people have got it. We're in pretty good shape. All right. Well, I appreciate we got one more coming in here. They'll be staggering in, but we got a majority here. We appreciate everybody joining. All right, Jim, you all primed up there? You ready to go?
I'm good now. I'm good.
All right.
I had
Okay.
Oh, thank goodness.
Good, Jim, looking good.
All right.
Jim, put your call sign on your thumbnail.
I can't. For some reason, I can't. I don't know why.
All right.
I've got an iPad, and it's funny about it.
Oh, okay. All right. No problem. No problem. All right. Well, I do appreciate everybody joining us for the August member meeting for Delta Club. I mean, looking back, you know, I think we all thought that in March, well, let's see, we did March. April was the first one that we did, and we thought, okay, we went through 1 or 2. But as you may have seen in the Sparks, we talked at the board meeting last week, and we are, you know, seriously thinking that this may be what we're going to have to do for the rest of this year at least. I think everybody realizes that you know, school's getting back in and different things starting to try to gear back up. It's going to be iffy for a while. So I do hope everybody is doing okay. I haven't heard of anybody. Seriously, I don't know of anybody, any of our members that have been directly affected. If they have, you know, I do understand that's brings it home more. But I've had, you know, 1 or 2 people that I've heard of, you know, friend of a friend type deal. But so far, this has been something that
I'm not good.
we'll hear on the news more than anything else.
Oh, Smith, let me call you back. I'm on Zoom here.
There you go. I just muted him. There we go. All right. I guess we'll just go through, before we forget about it, let's go through the business side of things. Any questions? We got David on here. Any questions on the treasurer's report? And if not, do we have a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
Make a motion to accept the treasury report as printed in Sparks.
There you go.
Second.
And Joe seconded. And all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Main thing is anybody opposed? Nobody had any questions?
No, it's just not the same without him.
It's not. It's not. I was thinking about that before we started this. Has anybody heard from him? Anybody?
No.
You can try to get in touch with him. He's yes, it's not the same. It's not the same. All right. The minutes of the treasurer's not treasurer's report, secretary's report.
I move that we accept the minutes as accepted in Sparks.
All right, Lynn?
Second.
As printed in Sparks.
All right. Okay. All right. Anybody object? That's easier than everybody's. All right. No objection. So that's passed. All right. While we're on business, anybody got any other business? Okay. Only thing that I have is we are, you know, and piggybacking on the fact that we said that we're not going to, you know, we are, you know, we're not totally writing off meeting in person. We are going to look at it month by month. At this point, I just don't really see how we could do it next month. I just don't see that one happening. So based on that, one thing that was suggested at the board meeting was the program for next month would be if people have got some things that they want to share that they've been doing this year. They get some interaction going with y'all, and and that time, and tonight also, if you got any questions, this is a good time. We got some people on here that, it's like any other ham thing. We got a bunch of people in here that think they're experts, and a few people that actually are. So if you got any questions, don't be shy. We've got some people that have been around for a while, but we might have some new members, some new people joining us. And if you've got any questions or anything that you'd like to ask, feel free. And then the other thing that I would like to say is we are, this is the time of year that we do start looking at, filling the officers for next year. And it's definitely going to be interesting to do that this year. We've got a few people that we've talked to and got a few things lined up that we think would work, but we do still have a few openings, one of which is, two of them. The main ones that we're still kind of looking to fill in is the president position and the treasurers. So if anybody is interested in filling those, let us know. Email me or email anybody else on the board. There is a requirement that you need to have 6 meetings, and we are counting the Zoom meetings. Now, I told that was brought up at the meeting last week, and I said, why can we say that? We're not gonna have anybody on the Zoom meetings next, the rest of the year. So don't let that scare you off from the Zoom meetings. But if you're wondering how we're meeting that requirement, that's how we're going to do it. So, okay. Anybody have anything? Joe's got a presentation, and
I was going to bring up, Rick, when you trying to pull together a outdoor ham swap or whatever.
Trunk or treat. Is that still something?
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
We discussed it for MARA last week, and we picked a date of October the 10th, trying to get all the clubs together if that'll work, and the 17th as a rain date backup, and possibly 2 or 3 different church locations for a site.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. That sounds
I just
good.
wanted to put it out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We're shooting for October the 10th, like 8 to noon on Saturday morning.
Okay. All right.
And it could be Richard's Church, Delta Club's church, or I forget who the third one choice was, possibly Dennis.
Okay.
Check. So these folks are supposed to be checking out the locations to see what the options are.
Okay. Yeah, I would say, I'm speaking without checking, but yeah, I was going to say, Ellendale, where we meet, should be available. It's got a good big parking lot, and we could.
The only thing that came up was if you can't hold your coffee, maybe we can get access to a bathroom in the building.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Ours is the parking lot's pretty close to where the restrooms are and stuff. So yeah, that should work. And depending on how things are going, if that should work. I think it's something that we should at least try. So I'll get in touch with you, Rick, and you can let me know if you need anything else from Delta Club.
Up to what?
All right. Something got muted. All right. Well, let's see. Is anybody, Joe, do you have any other announcements before you go into your presentation, or?
The only thing is that Tech Class 3-20, we tested on the 30th of July at Germantown United Methodist Church in their Owings Life Enrichment Center gym. We had the 13 tables along 3 sides of the gym, and this is a full-size gym. And then the table that I use and the VE tables were on the 4th side. When the participants came in, I told them to find a table and sit down. And then the VEs passed out all the material to keep from having people crowded up and all of that. The VEs went around checking the IDs and all that. This was under the Awrl VEC, which I'm a team leader. And we had, out of the 13, we had 10 pass, and 2 of those upgraded to general. So that was a pretty successful test session.
Yeah.
One of the persons that tested was from Tech Class 2-20, and then another person whose wife is a member, Delta Club member, wanted to test, and I allowed him to come. So it was 8 people from the 8 out of the 12 tested from, or 8 out of the 12 passed. 3 of them did not, and then 1 person said they were not ready yet to take the exam.
Was that the class? Did you have somebody recently that was real young? Was that in this class?
Yeah, that was in this, and that was one of the ones that didn't pass.
Didn't pass?
The mother, father, and the child did not pass.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, I think they'll continue studying.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
The next class probably will be a general class starting in November. I don't have anything set up. Might do something in October, but possibly won't. I like to have a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
I've been going almost since January with extra and then 2 tech classes.
Well, you can't go to Maine this year, so we're keeping you busy.
Yeah.
Thought about that a little while ago. You're probably missing the Maine.
Yeah. Well, we'd be back by now.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's why you're feeling tired. You missed your break.
But anyway, that's and we did with this last class. We did record the classes on Zoom and have them. Bobby Stroud created a site that he saved the Zoom videos to. So actually somebody can take those videos and look at them, and that's basically a tech class. I've got one more class Thursday night is the equipment basics, equipment demonstrations. It's going to be on Zoom. We're going to do the repeater basics, APRS, the satellite portion of it, not the actual demo, and try to go over Echolink, and then we'll wait and try to get a satellite session and an HF with long wire at a later date.
Hey, Joe?
Yes.
How would someone contact you that has not been in the class to see those? One of the guys.
Send me an email.
Okay. I'll get your email to him. One of the guys at the gym has become very interested. So.
Okay. Because that way the Zoom video recordings have not only the W9UUU PowerPoint presentations, but also the audio that additional information we put out and questions and answers and things like that. So,
Great.
Okay.
so that was one bit of benefit of Zoom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we thank Bobby Stroud for doing that. I think that's about all. And then I plan on an extra class in January. Don't know if we can have it in person or have to do it by Zoom. Time will tell.
Time will tell. Yeah. I think everybody's kind of gotten their mindset that I was talking to my grandson the other day, and we were both saying, man, New Year's Eve this year is going to be one heck of a party. Everybody's going to be glad to see this year gone, but it doesn't necessarily mean that January 1st of 2021, everything's going to go back to normal. But, you know, I think that's what everybody's hope and expectation is.
Yep.
It's hard to say. All right. Let's see. Mary Jean, do you have anything that you need we all caught up on anything that you need?
The only thing I have is just I'm in the middle of catching up this current round of like the membership emails and cards and everything. So I expect all those. Hopefully, I'll be caught up by the end of this weekend. I know there's some Ritter Mail emails that I'm slowly coming across. So if you happen to know that you had an email address on file that was with the Ritter Mail entity, then if you could send me an email and let me know your new email address. My email address is kn4fbl@gmail.com. We'd appreciate it, which most have switched it over already, but I'm working through looking to see if we have any that we need to get updated. So.
Okay. All right. Well, Joe, I guess we're ready for presentation now. You're ready.
You share screen with me?
Yeah. Let's see. What do I need to do? Give you permission to?
Yeah.
We did this once before. I'm not seeing that. Wait a minute. I got something here on chat. All right. Sharing. All right, folks. Share a screen. Okay. This is all it.
Still don't have it.
I can share mine, but I can't see how I can add you to share. You not just have a thing down at the bottom of yours where you share a screen?
In your setup, it's you have to share.
All right. You might know better what to tell me what to do here. We didn't have trouble when we did this, when Ian did it. Now,
no, but hey, in the meantime, I did want to bring up, hopefully everybody's enjoying the 8.2 repeater right now. And you see any problems with it, let me know. But it's in pretty good shape right at the moment.
who can I'm saying all participants can share. All right, let's try. I did that. See if that helps you, Joe.
Okay, yep.
Okay. Boy, they hid that one.
Hold on 1 second.
There we
go.
There we go. Okay. The presentation is is on ARRL headquarters, but one thing I wanted to do is for the new members that might not have joined ARRL, if you go to awrl.org and click on membership, and you can come to the membership page and it says join, renew, or guest account. You can get a guest account for 90 days. You have to put in your email address and do that, but you do not have to pay anything, and you can get to all of the QST and the magazines and all of the membership information for 90 days. So that's one thing I wanted to bring out, because there's several new hams that are on. I noticed Carla was on. I've forgotten who, Elliot Pope is on from my class 2-20. I'm not sure who else, but you can get a guest account. So that is that. One thing is when you do join ARRL, make a copy of your membership card and send it in with your application for Delta Club, and you can get the rest of the year of Delta Club membership for no charge. That's a part of being a member of a Delta Club class. So I wanted to let everybody know about this. As a matter of fact, if you want another presentation that I'm not gonna, it's an hour-long presentation, but if you go up to the web search, and you go to library resources, this is where the inside headquarters is, but this 2014 ARRL Centennial Convention is a nice one, and you can have several of them that you can look at along in this library. Now, I apologize for having to have the sidebar on it. My computer crashed and I had to grab my wife's this afternoon at about 4:45 and pull this up. And with that, I was not able to get rid of the sidebar that's over here.
That's fine.
But anyway, ARRL 100 years was in 2014. This is a presentation. It's got a number of changes on it, but I'll go through and make those changes when we come to a slide where there needs to be a notation on it. But I think for a lot of people that don't know about ARRL headquarters, this gives a good insight into ARRL. I've been up there a number of times, 4 or 5. I did go to the Centennial Convention in 2014. The ARRL mission is to advance the art, science, and enjoyment of amateur radio. This picture is from the ARRL Centennial. As a matter of fact, there I am talking with Mike Corey, who's KI1U, who's no longer with ARRL. He was from Oxford, Mississippi. He was on the Oxford, Mississippi University Police Department before he went to headquarters. But anyway, this is outside of the headquarters building. When you go in the lobby, after you go into the lobby, go down the main hall. This is the main hall of headquarters. It gives you, and there's also a program that will give you the history. It's an audio of all of these picture boards with the history of ARRL. Dave Sumner was the CEO. He is no longer the CEO, Barry Shelley, N1VXY, is the interim CEO and secretary. Barry was the CFO for many years and retired, and they brought him back since there's a vacancy in the CEO position. He was the trustee of W1AW in 2005 when ARRL had a toy drive for the Katrina, after Katrina. There's some guy that's on this site now that conned me into getting a warehouse and heading up that toy drive collection. That's Henry Leggett. He was the vice director for Delta Division at the time, and then he became Delta Division director. But he allowed us to use W1AW, and we used it mobile. And he said that was the first time that he knew of that it had been used as mobile. We took a truckload of toys down to Biloxi and Bay St. or Biloxi and not Bay St. Louis, but Gulfport, and had 2 chase cars and went down with APRS on it as far as Hattiesburg. But he retired about 3 years ago. Harold Kramer, WJ1B, also he was the chief operating officer, and he retired, and there's been no replacement for him. They've redistributed his responsibilities to other people. Brandon Price, N4QX, is the chief technology officer. He is in a suburb in Virginia, a suburb of Washington, D.C. He interfaces with the FCC and people in D.C. quite a bit on technology items. Dan Henderson, N1ND, has been in Memphis several times for HamFest. He is from Asheville, North Carolina. He does enjoy the barbecue when he comes to Memphis. He is still at headquarters. I'm not sure how much longer. He's got 22 years, I think, at headquarters. And he handles the liaison with the FCC and antenna issues and the FCC rule book and the volunteer council and the volunteer engineers that work in conjunction with the ARRL when a member has a problem. Volunteer council worked with a gentleman in Ohio who got a ticket right after they passed a law about no operating a radio like cell phones, and they took it to court and it was dismissed, and it was in conjunction with the volunteer council that it got dismissed. Sean Cutso, KX9X, he is no longer there. That is an open position at present time. If you notice, we've had quite a bit of turnover. I'm not sure exactly why. Part of it's a lot of people have been there a number of years and retired. The Awrl Lab is something that works behind the scenes quite a bit. They do product reviews. They do the technical information services. They work on RFI issues. When they do industry regulations, they work with the IEEE. They work with I know one of the things that they worked with is the RFI, the outlets that you have for when you plug into an outlet outside, the ground fault indicators. There were a couple of manufacturers that if you plugged into one of those, the RF would turn it, would throw it to where it would disconnect the radio. They worked with them to eliminate that problem. Here, Ed Hare is W1 RFI. You can see his real joy is working RFI. Zach Lau is another engineer that's been there for a while. Mike Gruber is no longer there. He retired. Bob Allison is still there. He does the QST product reviews. That is one of the benefits that a new ham can avail themselves of, is looking at the different ham radio products that they review and how they rate them. This is the some of the older radios that have been given and donated to ARRL over the years. Have quite a few old timers that are there. Deborah Johnson is no longer there. She was educational services manager over the ARRL instructor support, the Teachers Institute, the Education and Technology Program, and ARIS, which is amateur radio on the International Space Station. And Radio Waves newsletter was the newsletter that goes out to ARRL instructors like myself. If you sign up as an ARRL instructor, they'll send you the Radio Waves newsletter. The Teachers Institute, Carrie in KN4LCU went to the Institute 2 years ago in Newington, and I think she brought back a wealth of manuals. I've forgotten exactly what the value of those manuals are, and even a robot that she put together while there at the Institute. Dave Patton, NN1N, is the field service. I'm trying to remember what R stands for. I cannot remember, but anyway, it's the operating awards, contest, field organization. The OO program has now changed to another. The OO was official observer, to where they were the ones that would send you a postcard or an email if you were out of band or something. The new program not only reprimands people, but they also congratulate people for good operating practices. It is headed by the former FCC attorney that oversaw the amateur radio part of the FCC, and he took on the revamping the OO program to where it's making it to where they're collecting data that the FCC can use if they have to go to litigation with somebody or into court. Hamfest support, and then the QSL Bureau. I'm sorry I can't show it, but I have a picture of the QSL, a panorama picture of the QSL Bureau. There will be a part of the QSL Bureau, it will be shown later on, but I had a panorama to where it's basically triple what you'll see later on. And what the QSL Bureau does is, if you have QSL cards going to Europe, you can send it there, pay them a fee, they will bundle up QSL cards going to a country, and then when it gets in country, the person in country will send out the mail in their country at the lower postage rate. So it does save you, but it does take a lot of time. However, the best thing to do these days is to join Logbook of the World. It is a little bit of, and we'll talk about it in a little bit, but Logbook of the World has certainly expedited the instant mentality that everybody has wanting to get QSL cards. Dxcc is contacting 100 distant stations. In 14 and 1.1 million credits were processed. 13,500 applications were received for the Dxcc, and they go up yearly. And now with Logbook of the World, it makes it even easier to get DXCC so that people are willing to send it electronically rather than in the mail. It used to be that you sent an IRC, which was an international something credit. You bought them at the post office, and you would put those in to pay for the postage on the way back for a QSL, because a lot of these third world countries, it was expensive sending mail, and that's how you compensated the ham to get you your QSL card back. The Field Service Department award questions on rules, award application, and award status. Here's several awards. The WAS worked all states. Henry Leggett gave a presentation on working WAS and how to work it and what goes on. That's working all 50 states. And you can do different awards. You can do it on multiple bands and multiple modes. You can get an endorsement on single sideband or CW or phone. You have to make a contact in all 50 states and on 20 meters, and the bands that are long haul. The hardest part is getting a contact with a station that is nearby. As Henry was saying, that he got a Mississippi contact on the back. He had a Senatobia station that he pointed the beam opposite of Senatobia and worked him off the back of the beam on 10, 15, and 20 that one period of time. The DX Century is the Dxcc Award. Here's the certificate. The VUCC is VHF, UHF 100 contacts. Then the triple play was instituted in 2009. It is a part of the Worked All States Award, but it is you have to work 50 states on CW, 50 states on digital, and 50 states on phone, and get the QSL cards in through logbook, not cards, but get recognition through logbook of the world for that award. You cannot use QSL cards, and it's only contacts since I think it was February of 2009 when the triple play was put in. The board started that award up. Here's the Worked All States award that Dave Batten got. Logbook of the World, Dan Wall does Logbook of the World support. 78,000 users in 2014, 690 million QSO records. I'm not sure what it has gotten to now, but I would suspect that it's probably in the 750 to 800 million at least. Operating events and contests. Let's see, did I say Dave Patton? Dave Patton is no longer there. Matt Wilhelm is no longer there. Bart Janicki, W9JJ, is the contest radio sport branch manager. And Paul N1SFF is the new contest manager that would be reporting under the branch manager, the contest branch manager. 15 contests per year. I think, as most people know, Field Day is the biggest one of the year. You have a lot of VHF, UHF has 3 contests in the year: January, June, and September. You have a rookie roundup. You have a number of CW ones. You have single sideband contests, but there's 15 contests per year, 24 operating events per year. The 24 come because, like, the VHF, UHF is 3 events for that contest per year. Field day is the best one that we are, the most popular one that we have. You have ARRL affiliated clubs. ARRL Delta Club is an ARRL affiliated club. We have been a club since 1962, I believe. We're also a special services club. You have to do some things above and beyond with the classes and all of that to have a special service club designation. Norm Fusiero, W3IZ, club support. I believe he went to UT. I think, Henry, didn't you say he went to UT? Henry might not be on. Anyway, I think he went to UT. Here, Roseanne Lawrence has been around for quite some time, processing the QSL cards for the Bureau. 800,000 at the time. You can see the cubby holes, and that's one of 3 sections of this one here, and this one over the side is one of 3 sections where you have cubby holes for all the different countries and all of the different sections in the United States. That it's an incoming bureau and an outgoing bureau as well. 2 tons of cards were shipped in 2014. Mike Corey was the gentleman I was talking to in that picture with headquarters. He is no longer there. Steve Ewald. Let's see, where did we go? Sorry about this.
There we
go. Steve Ewald is, or Henry, are you on? No audio, Henry. Anyway, it might be Steve Ewald is the gentleman that went to UT. Field Service Organization, 9,000 plus volunteer leaders like Jeff Kraus with the and your section manager, your section emergency coordinator, your district emergency coordinator. John Reiners is a district emergency coordinator, as well as the EC, as well as Shelby County EC. They have there is a monthly Aries e-newsletter that when you join ARRL, you can sign up for the different publications that come to you, and the Aries e-newsletter, if you're interested in Aries, is a good one. Part of this, RACES is emergency court, the EC, the OEC manager, Shelby County governmental emergency OEC manager is responsible for RACES designation of amateurs. The Amateur Radio Emergency Service is under ARRL, and that's where John put in an application, and he had to be approved by the section manager, and then went up to headquarters and to be approved. The NTS is a national traffic system. That's where people in each county can send messages up to a state message system. The Tennessee phone net meets on 39, on 80 meters, 75 meters on 3980, and those messages go up to 3980, and then they go to, if it's within the region, they go up to the region and then back into whatever section it's going to, or it can go to the transcontinental net to get across to wherever it needs to go. Partners in with ARRL, FEMA, Salvation Army, American Red Cross, the National Public Safety Telecommunications Council, Skywarn, which is a part of the National Weather Service, Skywarn storm spotting. The National Weather Service has a net on DMR each month on the first day of the month at 7 p.m. on a chat room that has been set up. As we say in our preamble of the Delta Club, if the National Weather Service so wants, we can turn the 8.2 repeater over to them for Skywarn reports as well. Ham 8 is something that came up after Katrina, when everything went down there. ARRL felt the need of having portable equipment ready to go out. And these are command stations, the VHF kit, and you have a 50-watt HF radio amplifier, let's see, a Wi-Fi repeater, and WinLink digital setup. And then on the VHF kit, you have a 50-watt VHF transceiver, 8 handhelds, 20 amp power supply, and batteries, alkaline batteries or chargers. Usually in an emergency, they'll probably have a battery pack that'll take alkaline batteries to where if your rechargeable batteries go down, you can put in alkaline batteries. One of the things that Billy Freeman said when he goes out with FEMA and he was coordinating communications, he'd go to Walmart and walk in and ask them how many AA batteries they would have. And he said, and they would say, how many you want? And he said, all of them. And he'd produce a FEMA credit card, 1.2 million, and get about 7,000 batteries on the first go around for AA's, to where he had everything set up for all of their radios working on AA batteries, where when people went out, they could not only take the radio and have them, but then they'd take extra batteries to recharge the radios if they went down during the day. And these were the commercial radios that FEMA had. QST is the, I guess, the mainstay publication for ARRL. It gives information on all sorts of things going on, information, product reviews, all sorts of, and a lot of advertising in the back that's ham radio related, so somebody new can go through and look at and not have to search on the web to see some of the prominent ham radio web services or sites and companies that sell ham radio gear. QEX is a publication for communication experimenters, and National Contest Journal is another one. These two journals are online or digital now, to where your QST, your ARRL membership, you can elect to have one of either QST or the new magazine sent to you, but you can also read all of these publications online. Here's magazines and books that ARRL sells through their company store. It's all sorts of good information. ARRL Publications, Becky Schoenfield is, let's see, is Becky still there? I believe she is. Steve Ford is still there as the manager of ARRL Publications. Electronic newsletter, you have the ARRL letter that comes out Thursday afternoons if there's not a holiday on Friday. You have the Aries e-letter, which I spoke about earlier. You have the contest update. You have the radio waves for the instructors newsletter, legislative update. There's also one of the volunteers is a legislative liaison officer that we try to have an LLO for each state legislature, as well as people going to U.S. governmental, to the different representatives in Congress and all. And then also public relations, Lynn Grice, W4 MKS, is a public information officer for Delta Club as well as West Tennessee. Then the volunteer examiner coordinator news for all of the liaisons that process the FCC exams. Advertising sales, they have sales in QST, the NCJ, QEX, and the ARRL publications, and the e-newsletter, and wholesale book dealers. Deborah Janicki is no longer there, but Catherine Callahan is marketing communications manager. Here's some of the magazines. Here's some of the advertising you'll see in the magazines or on the websites. Diane Petrelli is membership manager. If you send a question on membership, you can send it in to her. Bob Interbitson is the department manager, and Vicki Vinci is the circulation manager for the different magazines. Marketing and membership excellence is serving members and customers in #1 priority. Questions, they have answered questions about membership or circulation, publications and public product sales, order fulfillment, and customer service. Maria Soma, AB1FM, is the VEC manager. Perry Green is retired since this time. He was the assistant manager. I'm not sure who the assistant manager is now. There's a lady that's been there a while. I cannot think of her name, but she's probably an assistant manager. Here's different brochures and the different tests for the VEC coordinator. ARRL is one of 14 volunteer examiner coordinators. They do the majority, they do about 70–75% of the testing in the United States for the FCC. Awrl VEC team does more testing. It did more testing this past year than W5YI. W5YI processes more 605 forms than Awrl, but a lot of those are renewals and vanity call sign applications on the 605. The VEC administered 76% of all the amateur radio exams in 14, 37,500 volunteer examiners, over 51,000 exam elements administered in 2014, and 7,200 sessions in 2014. Questions they answer is, where do I go to take a test, and when will my license be issued? How do I renew my license, and what do I get a vanity call sign? For those that are coming up on 10 years, if you're an ARRL member, you can get put in a 605, and they will renew your license for no charge. However, you can do it online now, probably just as easy as filling out the 605. Joining ARRL, we went through this a little bit early at the beginning of the program. For those new members, I would go, if you haven't joined ARRL right now, ARRL 1-year membership is $49, and for a family membership, it's $49 plus $8. The second member will not get any extra printed publications, but they'll have access to the websites. This is the W1AW that everybody, I think, dreams about going to operate from. The Hiram Percy Maxim Memorial Station. It's in Newington, Connecticut. It's a suburb of Hartford. This was built in, I believe, 1937. You can see some of the antennas in the back. W100AW was an operation that W1AW did commemorating 100 years of ARRL, and people that operated from W1AW could make a contact, and they would send out a QSL card to the person that they contacted. There were 70,000 QSOs in 2014. This is one of the visitors and guest operating positions. They usually have some of the latest radios there. You do computer logging, and if somebody sends in a QSL card to W1AW, they'll send them a QSL card back. I've been honored to operate from this position 2 or 3 times. There's another position, another 2 positions, and I've operated from it once. That is the transmitter section for W1AW that sends out the all of the code practice and the bulletins and everything that goes out. Dave Garcia, NJ1Q is the manager. He is paid by ARRL to operate ham radio. He is the one exception of somebody that can be paid 40 hours a week and operate ham radio. If somebody else, if some other club has it to where I think it's 30 hours minimum that they have to be paid to operate the radio, but it was an exception that ARRL got put in and FCC allows, so the ARRL bulletins can be sent out. Here's ARRL Information Technology Team is part of ARRL. Other staff, ARRL mailroom, warehouse, building management, the chief financial officer, accounting and human resources. You have writers, editors, and columnists. A lot of the writers and columnists are volunteers. Some of them are volunteers. One of the writers is Glenn Popel, who's down in Olive Branch. He does did the 2 Arduino books and one on I think digital, and he gets a commission on the number of books that are sold for having written the books. This is the outside of ARRL. This was up in 2014 for the centennial. On behalf of all of us at ARRL, we thank you for your support. I am the assistant director for the Delta Division. David Norris appointed me assistant director for the Memphis area, and that's why I go to a lot of the clubs in the area. I go to Hernando, Olive Branch, Atoka. I'm a member of Neshoba. I work with Tri-State, go to Atoka meetings, and try to support them, try to make sure that their club affiliation stays up to date. And if there's concerns that there's questions, you can go directly to Dave Norris or you can pass it through me. Be more than happy to do that. That's one of the roles that I play as the assistant director. I was nominated or given that title. Henry Leggett gave it to me when he was I guess when he was vice director. Henry, are you on? I guess not. I can't remember whether it was when he was vice director or when he became director. He got me to be the ARRL assistant director. I've been it continuously except for one 3-year period when another division director was the director. After Henry and before David Norris. And our vice director is Ed Hudgens, who is a Memphian who moved to Knoxville for work and then moved to Nashville, Tennessee area because of his wife's work. He is an electrical engineer, and he's been the vice director for 2 years plus an unexpired term. So he's going on really his 3rd year. He has put in his nomination, or has been nominated again for vice director, to where when it comes up in September, October for voting, you'll know the name at least, possibly WB4RHQ is his call. I'm not sure if anybody else is running against him or not. I thought that is it. Any questions?
I don't hear anything. Anybody? Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Joe. That, if nothing else, some of the people may have changed, but if nothing else, I think that gave all of us a good reminder or first time of finding out everything that you get for your, I think it shows that you get your money's worth for $49. And then that's in addition to the publications, the magazines, whether, physical or online. Club does a lot for $49. So that's impressive. Okay, anybody got anything?
You can get a 3-year membership for, I've forgotten how much more, but there is a discount if you get 3 years.
Yeah, I while you were discussing that, I looked online because I thought you'd say the amount, but I was going to say that. Yeah, it is a little bit different. It's a little bit of a discount for 3 years. Yeah. And one thing you were talking about the contest, I thought it was this. Looks, if I've got it right, this weekend is the North American QSO party. That's this Saturday. That's, I'm not real big on the contest, but I think that's a pretty good sized contest. So if anybody's looking for a contest this weekend, reminder that that's this Saturday at 1800 Zulu's, what it looks like it started at. You can check on that, but it looks like that's what that is. All right. Anybody have anything else? Anything at all?
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
One thing I'm looking at the Zoom meeting is really interesting. Your ham shack is unbelievably impressive.
Well, it's unbelievably impressive that I found a photo of that on Google Maps or on Google Photos. So, yeah.
Oh, because I was going to make a suggestion. Maybe, one of the Zoom meetings, people could, we're all on, basically on the Zoom, we could see, and people could share what their shacks are like.
Well, that's actually what that's what we got in mind for next month. That's what we got in mind next month. Seriously. We're not planning on having a presentation other than let's do some show and tell. It's a combination show and tell, and or if you've got any be a good time for questions and answers. We've missed. Somebody mentioned ham earlier in the meeting. We haven't been having the ham 101, and that's we need to keep in mind that you know, we've got some good resources here, and you know, let's use them. I know we've got some member. I started to say older members, but I'll say we got some members that have been active for a long time that have got a lot of experience. But we've also got some new people, and so if anybody's got any questions, we've got you know, a lot of people here that are willing to help.
Yeah, Steve's changes week by week.
Yeah. I was down at the beach for the I think for the directors meeting. So yeah, yeah. Yeah. It just works out. All right. Anybody have anything else? If not, Scott wanted me to remind you to clean up your area and put your chairs under the table. And we will see you next month. All right. Thank you. Have a good night.